we've said. So the parent function is y equals 1 over x. The stretch, shrink, and reflection come when we have, that box is horrible, a over x. That's supposed to be an a, not a 9. Sorry, that box is tiny. All right, and now we're going to add in h and k. So h moves it left and right, k moves it up and down. These also tell you exactly what the asymptotes are. Your vertical asymptote comes from x equals h. Okay, so that is, remember h is always with x, so x is on the denominator, so h is on the denominator. Okay, and then the horizontal asymptote comes from y equals k, and k is always stuck out at the end. And we'll have some where we have all three happen. We'll have a stretch or shrink, maybe even a reflection, left and right, and up and down. All right, so that is where the general form comes from. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's graph one of these translations. Step 1 is to draw the asymptotes. Sometimes it's actually easier to do that first. Now, our asymptotes, according to up above, vertical comes from x equals h. So if I have vertical asymptote, and that's x equals h, what will that equal for us? 2. Very good. It's tricky because, remember, the formula is x minus h. And here we have x minus 2. So h is not negative 2, but is just 2. All right, so we can draw that. So at x equals 2, we have a vertical asymptote. So that's where it moved right to. And then our horizontal asymptote comes from y equals k. That is negative 3. That one's normal. It has plus sign in front of it. So what you see is what you get. So y equals negative. No.
You just said, yeah, it's because up there.
I meant the general form has a plus sign, so what you see down here is what you get. So that's negative. All right, so we kind of see where our graph is going to move. It's going to move right 2 and down 3 from the parent function. So step 2 is to translate the graph. So our original equation was y equals 1 over x minus 2 minus 3. We are going to forget about h and k for a little bit. Okay, and just worry about what's left, which is y equals 1 over x. So for that, I'm going to plug in a positive x and a positive y. The easiest one to divide would be good. So I'm going to plug in like positive 1 and negative 1. If I plug in positive 1, I have 1 divided by 1, which is 1. And then I have 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. Now, I'm going to move those by what h and k told me to do. So h told me to move it right 2. K told me to move it down 3. So we can start at 1, 1 and go right 2, down 3, and there's our new point. That's the same thing as if we added 2 to x, subtracted 3 from y, we'd get to that point. All right, and then if you start at negative 1, go right 2, down 3, there's our new point.
But if you put the asymptotes, you can guess
So once you get that basic point, you can sketch the graph because you kind of know what it needs to look like. And ta-da, you're done. Now, the last ones you aren't graphing. Yay! We are going to write an equation for the translation of y equals 5 over x that has asymptotes x equals -2 and y equals 3. So the deal is that if you're given a stretch, okay, so something a over x, and you either know the asymptotes or which way it moved, you can write the formula for that. Remember, general form is y equals a over x minus h plus k. For us, a is what? 5. So y equals, okay, so a equals 5. What does h equal?
-2.
Yes, h is the -2. And what does k equal? 3. Now we just simplify and we have our answer. So our answer is y equals 5 over x what? Plus 2 plus 3. And that's your answer. The tricky part of these is remembering that it's minus h. So that way when you put a negative in there, it becomes positive. Okay, so remember it's minus h. Any questions? No? All right.